Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP500, and I'm just starting on the tick chart, and I will work out as well, but the last time we spoke we were looking at this wave 4 here, wave 1 and 2 and 3, and we were looking at a wave 4 coming across, so we've got a ABC pattern here for 4 and then up for 5 here, so that's where I was looking to. Okay, so we've got wave 5 of 5 of 5. Now, as I've mentioned all last week and this week, is that this can be the top of wave 3 or the top of wave 5. Okay, so we need to figure that out, but we've gotten to this particular point here now. So in both of these cases, if this is the top here, then we'll see a correction from this point, and we'll work with that. Okay. The other point that I want to make too is that if I'm wrong with this count, because the reality is that we're in a trend at the moment, and we don't want to fight the trend unless we've got the evidence, of a trend, a change in trend, and we don't have that evidence yet. So it's possible that this can be the move down here, and we can be looking at, I just want to be I don't want to miss a continued trend to the upside and look like an idiot, so really what we can do is this is the 61.8% mark here at the 5255 so to speak. So I'm just going to move that. So that's we know that is there, but if we were going to go long, if I can just configure this a little bit here, if I just darken that a little bit here, and if we look at that's the midpoint, the 250. So then we've got 1, 2, and 3 here. Okay, so I'll just put those in here because that's all part of group 1. This is group 2 below here, so we can look at that as the 8. I'll just leave that. I'll just work with this side up here for the moment. The 8 here. So normally we would look to go long if we got support on top of group 1 here. So that's the 2553. If that becomes a tested support, then it's safe to trade long to the upside from that point. Okay. If you're still long at the moment, because we were looking on the, I'll just go to the hourly chart here. We were looking at moving our stop up into this space here. You may have already been out last, in this area here, and that would be fine. So if you're still long, or you want to go long right now, then the stop needs to go under this little low here. Okay, so in both cases, if you're going to go long now, even before you get to, this is roughly the 5.3, oops a daisy, this is roughly the 5.3 area here, so that would be, if I can just also darken this up a little bit here, I'll just put that on black, and then we've got group 1 here, which is, I'll just put on that green line here. Because normally we would be looking at the safe trade to go long above this one here, but what I'm doing is I'm bringing it down. I know the 61.8% is around here. It could go higher than that, but this is group 1 here. So if we get support on that top of that group 1 here, then you can go long from that point there, because and if you wanted to get in early, then would need to keep the stop there, and I'll just point that out, the reasons why, if I go back to the tick chart now. So if we were going to go long here, then if I can just maybe just borrow a couple of these, that could be wave 1, that can be wave 2, and then we can look for wave 3 up here, and 4, and so on, build to the upside here. So if this was, this can be basically an A wave, a B wave, and then 5 waves up for the C wave and fail here and then move down. Okay, so that's what that's that's the downside of it. The upside is that if this is wave 1 and wave 2 here, then we're going to see this. I can't draw that segment past that, but I will just configure that here into a little red line there. So that's where the stop would have to be if you're going to continue going along at the moment. But I don't know if you should. That's the thing, I don't know that. I would know it if we got support on top of the 3 here. So I just wanted to talk about approaching, how to approach the upside and my 2 bobs worth on that and how you can go about it. So if you went long here, you'd need to keep the stop out of the way here. Okay. Now coming back to the 4-hour chart here, just into the bigger picture here, there's on our charts we've got, as you know, we've got wave 4 sitting over here, which would leave this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here to finish here. Okay, and then that would be the 5th wave here and so on. But I think that there's a good case for this wave 4 to be here as well. And like I mentioned, is that even if there is another wave up here, because I've miscalculated in here, let's just say that there is another little wave in here. Once that's finished here, then that will move down here. So this is either, this will either be a wave 4 that will break the trend line of wave 2 here. Okay, so I can just put that out to the side here. Or we're going to have wave 5 already in. If this wave 4 is sitting here, as I've mentioned before, then these will be 5 blue waves up here that would finish this here, and then would have this wave 5 here of 3 here, and that would be the end of it. So in that case, we wouldn't see this wave 4 here. We would see a more of an impulse wave back down to this area here. So we don't have any sort of short trade setup here just at the moment for this, and we don't want to fight the trend. You don't fight the Feds and you don't fight the trend, as they say. So it still appears that it's going up. So we've talked about, if I've got the count wrong, how to move to the upside. But in moving to the upside, where I would be wrong would be in here, counting in here. It got a little bit messy in here, so maybe I'm out 1 wave here and we still got little 1 to go up here, and then fold down at this point. So like I said the other day, is that we've pretty much done our job of getting from A to B here, the midpoint here, and counting our wave structures in here. So if you're still long, you can still put where to put your stops. And if you want to go long because you feel that it's going to be moving higher, then the safe trade is at 2553 is a tested support. And if you wanted to go earlier than that, that would be where the risk is, and you know where to put the stop, pretty much under the 4-hour low here, and see how your luck holds out on that. But that's really all I can sort of say on this at the moment with this, because I'm not quite sure where we are with this at the moment. So that's about it really. So let's just see what comes over the next couple of days before we can call a correction in or a trend higher. All right, I'll just have to leave it at that. Unfortunately, I can't help any more than that on this one at the moment. I need to see more price action to be confident in making a call with this. Okay, cheers.